Thank you and welcome into this video. I would like to take you through how you can file for your employment income tax when you have a withholding certificate, either originating from the interest from T-bill and T-board or consultancy and management services, which are subject to withholding tax. So the one for interest is subject to withholding tax at a rate of 15%. And the one for consulting services, it is subject, and management services, it is subject to withholding tax as a percentage of 5%, which is not a qualifying final tax. So you need to declare it when declaring your annual income returns. So what you need to know basically is that I will use the one which originate from interest from T-bill and T-board, which is the same logic which applies from the one which originate from consulting and management services. So the same logic applies. The difference is the rate, since for the management and consulting services it will be 5%, and the one originating from the interest from T-board and T-bills will be around 15%. So with no much ado, let us get started. So what you need to have, you need to get into the iTax portal and enter your KRA pin here. So let me start from the beginning, which is which my T number is A05 43007A. Then I need to continue. When I continue, I'll just do a simple mathematical computation here, which will give me a value of 105. Then I need to log in. When I log in, I'll come to where we have returns. And I'll come to where we have file returns. Though I had already filed, I'll be given a pop-up here. So I just need to select my tax obligation, which is income tax resident. The taxpayer pin will be auto-populated here. So I'll just get a pop-up since it is like I'm doing an amended, so it is here. So you need to enter the return period, since I want us to use the auto-populated ITR return so that I can show you the necessary adjustments which we need to do. So just download the sheet. So let me download it, which is here. So the auto-populated ITR has already the auto-populated data from your P9 form. That's why I'm using it, because I don't want to redo the employment income part. I just want to show you the necessary deduction for the withholding tax. So just come to where we have download. When I come to where we have download, this is the sheet which I have downloaded at 934. So it is this one which is here. I just need to click above it and then come to where we have properties. I need to unblock this document, hit apply and click OK. So the reason why I've done this is to avoid macros blockage when opening this document. Then I can click that above their document, choose to extract, then I click extract. When I do that, that document will be extracted here. So you can click above that document and choose to open with Microsoft Excel. Don't open it with WPS, since you experience a lot of problems with macros blockage and you will not be able to edit this document and get the P&L and the balance sheet. So what I will do, because I had already opened the document, since it is taking time to open in my computer, you notice when you download the ITR form, all the details regarding your employment income will be populated here. Your T number, your income, which is here, also your pay deducted, which is here, and also the tax computation. Every data is already auto-populated. So what we do, we adjust our withholding tax. So what I need to do, in order to do the adjustment for the withholding tax or withholding certificate, I need to come to where we have, do you have any other income? I'll just select yes. When I click yes, you will notice where you are having error here. There have been additional sheets here, which is sheet B and sheet C. See that these are the sheets which you focus on. So you just come to where we have profit and loss account, sale. So I'll come here. You notice my withholding tax certificate here originate from interest from T-bill and T-board, which was subject to an interest rate of withholding tax rate of 15%. So the concept of the withholding tax is where the payer of this amount submitted this amount to the revenue authority on my behalf. So, and when he declared this amount from interest originating from both, this is not the final tax. I need to declare it when doing my annual income returns. That's why I said withholding tax is not a final tax. So what I need to adjust in my sheets, I need to adjust this gross amount of the transaction, which is 84,220, which is 84,220. So just get into the sheet, come under where I have interest and adjust. So I need to adjust here where we have gross turnover of professional and consultancy. So I just adjust. This is section 1.2. I will just 84. It was 84,220. If I'm not wrong, it's 84,220. 220. So when I adjust this to 84,220, you will notice using the current regulation by KRA, we shall not be able to subject this income from any expense which was not validated via intims. So when you try to come here and adjust any expense, maybe operating expense, you will notice any expense which you adjust here, it is not validated using the ITIMS or TIMS method. These will not be a qualifying expense, and that is the problem which we're experiencing this year. Because as per the regulation, when you include an expense here, it will be flagged off and will not be able to submit your returns. So this is you just input the amount, which is the income, in case your expenses are not qualifying and were not validated using ITIMS, which is the most cases, because from the interest from treasury bill and both, the expense which you usually incur is management fees, which originate from the agents who are assisting you when doing your trading with the CBK, but they didn't invoice you for the amount, so that is kaput. You cannot be able to claim it, and that is the problem which you are getting when filing for interest and commission which you incurred during your management and commission from consulting services. So that one will revert at that point. Nothing you can be able to do. So let me come at the balance sheet first, so that we are through with the balance sheet. So under the balance sheet, because it is hard to verify the asset which you have in case you don't have an actuary. So come to where we have other asset, input value 1, and then come to where we have other loans, I will put value 1, since as we know from basic accounting, the asset side and the liability side, which is equity plus liability, they must be equal. You are good to go. From there, you need to come to this section, the tax computation area. So this is the shortcut which I'm showing you. So you just come here. What you need to claim here in this section, let me show you. I know here we can be having a very big figure. So what you need to claim here from this section, let me show you. From this section is the withholding tax credit. So withholding, what is withholding tax credit? When you are being paid this amount from this P9 form, your employer paid a tax to the taxman, which is an advance tax. So he paid a tax in advance to the government. So you need to claim credit, because this amount, you are paid your amount less 15%. So you are paid 85% of that amount. So you need to come here and claim this amount which is here of 12. Let me maximize it a little so that you can be able to see what I'm showing. So which is 12,633. So just copy that amount here and bring it into a P9 form and offer that tax credit of 12. Let me paste it here to avoid a lot of errors. So which is 12,633. So as you can see, this is saying I need a tax refund of that amount because I didn't have any amount of tax. So this is tax refund. But this is the scenario which you are facing in the year 2026 when filing our return. It is close to impossible to be able to deduct any expense from the income which you are filing return for. So that is how we are adjusting for withholding tax. So you will not be able to claim any expense in case it is not validated via ITIMS. And when you are through with it, you can validate these sheets. So you can validate them. So we shall just give them time to validate so that I show you the way forward from that point, which is the normal way how we usually upload this ITR sheet, which we validate from Excel, and then we can cross it to that point. But that is the analogy which I wanted to drive. So don't be led by a person that you'll be able to adjust any expense when filing your withholding tax this year 2026 for 2025 if it was not validated via items. But in case you have some receipt of some expense which you incurred, you can be able to upload them and offer necessary adjustment for expenses. And I think I should demonstrate that. So in case you have manual invoices or non-items invoices, you just come here. You come where we have income tax return adjustment. You come to where we have manual and non-items invoices. Click above that. Then, when you click above that, what you need to do, you just need to come here, choose the period which you are filing for return. These are the invoices which were transmitted in the year 2025. Click next. So come here. So, you are supposed to come here and download this saved value document, which is here, CSV document. Click here. The document will be downloaded. You can open it either using Office or WPS. This is not problematic. Then, you need to know the pin of the supplier pin. So that is the supplier pin. Maybe some of the supplier pin that in a scenario of the withholding tax for consulting services, maybe it's the pin of we take a scenario of the agent who was managing your board treasury bill and board. Maybe you have the TIN, the name, the invoice number which they billed with you, they used to bill you, the date and the description of the transaction and the amount here. You also need, when you input all those details of all the receipt which you had when offering your services, you need to save. Don't make any change in this description. You need to save these. So just replace and save. Let me save. Then you need to get back here. You just select that CSV document and select any supportive document and submit, and you can be able to come and offer that relief. So my sheet have been downloaded. So first, before I show you where you adjust the amount, so I can just click yes. So we need to notice the date and the time when the sheet has been downloaded. It's at 9:44. So I just click OK. So and that is where the sheet has already been validated. You just need to note where they have been saved, the date and the time. So I need to show you where you come and offer those manual invoices which were transmitted. So under T computation, you come at section 6. Section 6 where we have manual non-items invoices, and you adjust them where the column where the income is. If it is for interest, at the column E, and you'll be able to net some expenses which were not validated via items. So after you have done that, in 2026, nothing which is not validated via it, no expense which was not validated via items, which will be adjustable. That is what I want to sync. So when you come here now, let us come to the tax file return, because that is what we wanted to adjust. Then you come to where we have tax obligation is resident individual. Then I'll click next. Then okay, mine will be amended, but now yours will be original. So the return date is this one. So you just come here, choose the file which you need to the ITR file. So it was saved under the document, so it is here at the 944. So you just need to answer this query. Do you own Lento? I'll just click no. I will agree, and I'll add up and submit. But this was just for demonstration, but that is the adjustment which you will do when filing your return in 2026 with withholding tax certificate. So in case you have any query regarding this, you can reach me using the contact in the description. You can also use my email to reach me, and we can have a meeting and ensure you do correct filing of your return 2026 with this new tax regulation, which require items validation and invoices for any transaction which we carry out. So thank you for watching.